All right, we are live. Hey, everybody. Lisa Stone with Parenting Aces coming at you from Atlanta, Georgia. And pardon the lighting and hopefully the sound's okay, but it is how it is. Matt Andre, Brian Wilson, welcome. So glad to see you both. And we have a really cool new topic to discuss. It's a new project that Universal Tennis has just launched. And Matt, I'm going to let you start and introduce yourself. And then Brian, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. And then we're going to jump into this new pathway.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, Lisa, and hello to everyone tuning in. And we're thrilled to be talking a little bit about our junior national pathway. I'm the director of operations at Universal Tennis. I oversee our college tennis division. I'm in a lot of our other junior initiatives and have a background in junior development coaching for about 7 years in Florida. So been around kind of just about everything with junior pathways and what parents and players and coaches are looking at. So kind of my primary goal is providing new opportunities and helping players out there kind of improve to their best ability and more opportunities to find kind of the best spot for college tennis.
Awesome. And Brian, tell us who you are for those who missed my podcast with you. And if you did, shame on you, go back and listen to it. It was awesome.
Well, I've got to tell you, first off, I've had a couple students come to Darling because of your podcast. And I said, how did you hear about Darling? We got a good website, like I know a few people, and they say, no, Parenting Aces podcast. I go, wow, it's amazing. So my name's Brian Wilson. I'm the associate director here at Darling Tennis Center in beautiful Summerlin, Las Vegas. I help run events here. I've run a couple of the UTR Pro events already. I ran an Oracle 25K. I played college tennis in Illinois, and I played on tour. So really fun for me to be involved in this initiative, knowing what junior players need. I also scout for Team Head Racket Sports. So I'm out there in the junior space talking to coaches and seeing the tournaments there. I was at clay courts in Florida. I was at Kalamazoo. And so this is exciting. There's definitely a good synergy here and excited to talk about it.
And Lisa was your eyes on the ground in San Diego.
Yes. Not a lot of surfing I can do in Kalamazoo, but it was still great to be there. And that was fun to get on a pod with you or on a live with you there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let's jump into this Universal Tennis junior national pathway. I have to get the terminology right. Matt, why did y'all decide to go down this road?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, this is something we've actually had kind of on our minds for about a year when we first kind of developed the strategy and the plan on this. And always our goal here at Universal Tennis is providing more opportunities with junior players and trying to be a little bit different. And we really wanted to tailor towards the players and coaches in doing this. So kind of at a high level, I mean, the goal is to provide regional play opportunities. For the first time ever, we're actually breaking down the country into 8 different regions where players will be kind of required to play in those. They're going to be able to register for these really kind of unique events. If you're familiar with our Pro Tennis Tour, it's a very similar format. We want to guarantee 3 matches. It's a round robin followed by a knockout playoff stage kind of format for the regional events. And then it's going to really advance onto what is going to be our inaugural junior national championships, which will be held in Las Vegas. I think we've always kind of been kind of requested to do something like this as well from the community. And we did a lot of market research on this as well. We talked to a lot of college coaches, a lot of players, a lot of parents, academy coaches, and kind of heard their pain points and what they wanted to do. So really with that, I mean, this is going to be really our first go at it. The response has been very strong so far. I mean, I think our first event is already full. Of course, you can still register, but it has kind of the full field already. We just wanted to give juniors something that's going to help them kind of improve their game. And then really at the forefront of what we're doing is trying to fill that demand that coaches are looking at to recruit players and then helping players really find more college opportunities.
So I have to address the elephant in the room, and that is the whole kind of chaos that has been USTA junior competition since January, since the launch of their new digital platform. We know the rankings were kind of all over the place for the first really 6 months of the year. The tournament platform has been wonky. Just things have been crazy. But when I talk to parents about, do I put my kid in USTA events? Do I put them in Universal Tennis events? How do I decide what to do? The concern has been over and over again, if we don't play USTA events, we don't have a way to get into the level ones, the national hard courts, national clay courts, and winter nats. So Universal Tennis, it seems, has come up with a game plan for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question and something we hear a lot as well. And really, at the end of the day, I mean, players are always going to have the options. I think more so than ever, there's so many events out there with kind of the success of our ITA circuits, and those are some of the most registered events probably in the world right now with top players. So what we really wanted to do is really provide kind of new and additional complementary opportunities that has a little different twist on it. We're doing a little different take on age classifications by going to 17U, 15U, and 13U, which I can touch on a little bit later in here.
Yeah.
And really at the core, I think to your question, I think within USTA events, and that goal is to get to Kalamazoo and San Diego, what makes those events so amazing is the college coaches that are there. So we really thought, like, how can we do this? How can we create something that is special, that allows another opportunity like this? And that's what really led to this. As you'll notice, our national championships is in Las Vegas. It's at the same time as the ITA Coaches Convention, which annually just about averages about 300 coaches on site. So that event is going to
So hang on one second. Let me interrupt you one second. For those who aren't familiar with the acronyms, ITA, Intercollegiate Tennis Association, it is the Association for College Tennis Coaches, and they have an annual conference every year. And and this year it's going to be in Vegas, and your national championship coincides with their annual meeting. Therefore, there are already going to be about 300 college coaches on site for the annual meeting who can just walk out the door and see a bunch of top junior players competing and hopefully talk to them about coming to play college tennis.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's spot on. And I think being able to create that kind of a landing ground for everyone to be in one place. And what's unique about our national championships as well is it's not just a tournament. We actually have a 2-day college showcase that Brian's going to be leading for the first 2 days. That's going to be December 3rd and 4th. And then that's going to be followed up by a 4-day national championship tournament. So, I mean, really, I mean, of course, I mean, with COVID and everything and having kind of anticipating the coaches are going to be there. I mean, it's scheduled in Las Vegas. We're going to be there. We are expecting a really solid turnout. And for a junior player, like, this is an amazing opportunity to go out there and interact with coaches, and just adding these on is a great thing for the game.
And I want to go ahead, Brian. Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean, this is something that's really unique. And I've already talked to 30 or 40 college coaches, and they are so excited about this. There's just, again, so much synergy here with the conference. Coaches wanting to be on the West Coast. That was requested to the ITA by a lot of coaches, and having that college showcase. And we're actually going to do a team format for the college showcase. We're going to have 64 players, 32 that qualify through the regionals, and 32 at-large bids, right? Players can enter just through UTR. So it's really exciting for the college coaches to be able to see the players interact and play in a team format. A lot of college showcase events are just play one set, wait around, and that's it, right? You play another set later in the day. This is going to be fun for the kids. There's going to be singles. There's going to be doubles. There's going to be, cheering each other on. And that's a lot of what coaches want to see, right? When I talk to college coaches and they recruit my players and they ask me about other players around the country, they want to know, is this player a good teammate, right? If they lose their match, or they're going to be, hanging around cheering on their teammates, are they going to be fully invested in what's going on as a team? So the college showcase on Friday and Saturday, not only going to have a lot of college coaches, but now the players can play in a team format. And I talk to players from all around the country, junior players, they love playing those team events. They love playing zonals. They love playing intersectionals. They love playing the world championships. That is something that they remember for forever. I mean, I still remember my 12 zonos, in Pompano Beach, Florida. I still remember my teammates. So that's going to be incredible. Like you guys both said, going to be a great turnout with coaches. A lot of coaches don't have a budget to just do recruiting. They have a continuing education budget. So now we put both balls in their court. It's not only continuing education with the conference, but they can recruit. So the university pretty much can't say no.
Right, right. And as you and I both heard, Brian, during National Hard Courts, you at the boys, me at the girls, these coaches have lost a year. We know the players have lost a year, but sometimes we forget the coaches have also lost a year. They don't know the up and coming high school players. They haven't had a chance to see those kids compete.
Absolutely. This is actually perfect timing in regards to that, Lisa. That's a great point. I was talking to some coaches in the first and second rounds at Kalamazoo, and they didn't know players that were seeded, right? There was 32 seeds. These guys were really good players, right? 32 seeds in the 18s, and the coaches didn't know them, right? They hadn't seen him play. Maybe he's a player that did well, locally or did well in some UTR events, and obviously the coaches haven't been traveling. So this is the absolute perfect timing for the recruiting, for filling teams. I mean, a good friend of mine, Dustin Taylor, took over at Oklahoma State, and they had one player about 4 months ago. And he's filling that team, and he's excited about coming here. He's at multiple national championship Virginia. He said this is the perfect event in regards to timing with COVID and the recruiting process.
And I want to jump into how players get to your event in Vegas, Brian. But before I do that, I also want to just throw out there two things. One, if you're watching this and you have questions, type them in the comments and we will ask them during the conversation. Number two, if you have a child who is a high school senior this year and hasn't committed to play at a college program, this national championship in December is not too late for them to go and be seen by coaches who are still looking for players, and your player will still have an opportunity to sign that national letter of intent if they're going D1, or to sign with a D2, D3, NAIA, junior college. All those levels of coaches are going to be at the ITA convention, meaning they're going to be at this national championship. Okay, so Matt, that said, talk to us about the pathway. How does somebody get involved in this new creation of Universal Tennis's to earn their way to the national championship in December?
Yep, perfect. So I don't know if you have the link shared in here. If you want me to put that in and everyone can look at it. So we're going to have 8 regions of play starting this fall. Our first event actually kicks off on Labor Day weekend. They're broken down with one event for male players and one event for female players. It's open to anyone to register, and we'll be accepting the top 16 players by UTR rating, but there's no minimum requirement to register. So I urge everyone to kind of go out there and register. Once doing that, we're going to have 3 different age divisions. We're going to have 17U, 15U, and 13U. That definitely is a little unique, where you're not going to see an 18s right away. An 18-year-old that is not committed to a school yet can request a wildcard entry. Our goal in talking to college coaches is really getting those players that really need to be seen by coaches, and also giving college coaches the kind of ability to see those players in more of like a high school age bracket, where they're going to see the 17 and 16-year-olds. A player also cannot play up. If you're 15, you must play in the 15U, which I think is really unique, so the coaches know exactly who they're seeing. A lot of times at these events, coaches are like, what grade is he in, or what class is he in? So they're really going to know that pool of players. So with those regional events, they're going to be 3-day events. They're all going to be hosted on either a college university or a kind of marquee venue, which also makes this pretty special for the kids to go play at a school like a Baylor's hosting Oklahoma State or Cornell. I mean, some really, really cool host sites. After that event, it's going to be a 3-day tournament. The first 2 days are going to have round robin play. So you're guaranteed 3 matches. If you lose the first match, you can still qualify on to the playoff knockout stage to advance. The final day and a half will be a playoff knockout. The top 2 finishers from each round robin group will advance. And then the 17U and 15U winners will get an automatic qualification into the national championships. So that's how we're going to get our players that are going to be coming from the regionals. So there'll be one from the male 17s, one from the female 17s, and let's say the NorCal and Pacific Northwest region, then one from the 15s males, and then one from the 15s females. Once those players qualify, they'll be automatically accepted into that event, and they'll secure their spot. Just another pretty cool thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just ask, what is the format for the match format at the regional events? Are they playing full 2 out of 3? Are they playing college scoring? How is that?
So it is going to be a little bit of a hybrid. It's going to be geared towards college scoring because we want the college coaches to kind of see what they're going to be doing when they're playing in college matches. The round robins are going to be 2 sets with a 3rd set match tiebreaker, all no ad scoring. And then the playoff rounds will be full 2 out of 3 sets, no ad scoring. So really, I mean, the 2 formats you're going to be seeing in college. And then in these regionals as well, another really unique thing about this is every match is going to be live streamed for the 17th and 15th. So all of our sites do have cameras, and I think that's so unique to have, where it's going to be at every event. So if you're a player and you're playing this event and a coach hasn't seen you yet, register and you can let them know, hey, I'm going to be playing this event. It's going to be live streamed. In addition to that, all the streams will be stored afterwards. So we're going to be sharing this with every college coach across all divisions. So if you want an opportunity to get live stream matches, whether it's for yourself or having a college coach play, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity.
Absolutely. This is fantastic. And I love that, everything's being streamed. Tennis is so far behind other sports in this, right? So kudos to Universal Tennis for making sure that piece of the puzzle is in place for these events, because it is tough for the coaches to get out there and see these kids compete, especially as we know in the last year and a half. So this is an awesome opportunity. I have all these questions I want to ask you. Okay, so we talked about the age requirements. We talked about the live stream. We talked about how to qualify. We talked about the form. Well, we're going to get into the format of the national event a little more. But can you talk a little bit, either one of you or both of you, about what constitutes a region and how do you verify that someone's playing in their appropriate region? Or can you play in a different region if you want to qualify for the national event?
Yep, no, that's a great question. So players will be required to play in a certain region based off of their state. We've broken it into 8 regions. I'm trying to just pull up this page here. We're going to have NorCal and Pacific Northwest, the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic and North Carolina, Northeast, SoCal and Arizona, South Central, the South, and then the Florida and the Caribbean. So there's going to be 8 regions there. You are going to notice that some states, based off where you live and what your residence is on Universal Tennis on your player profile, you have to play in that state, and your profile has actually already been designated to that. We've made an update with our platform. You're already designated. So if you're designated that region, you can go register for the event. However, if you are in a state that's actually going to be in a state that can choose between 2, because as we broke it down into 8 regions, we know some players are going to be like, well, this is going to be easier for me to get here. We're actually going to let that player designate their region. So any players out there, you can actually go to your profile. You can see which region you're on. So go to your Universal Tennis profile, hit edit profile, and you're actually going to see your region in that kind of setting feature there. If you are in one of those states that has the option to choose, you will have a drop-down menu, which you can then designate. And if you have any questions on that, we have an email, juniorpath@universaltennis.com, which can help answer any of those questions. It's also on the National Pathway landing page, and we have a support site as well.
Okay, sorry, juniorpath@universaltennis.com.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay, I'm just going to type that into the comments. So there is no point chasing type thing here. You are designated a region. That is your region. You must play in that region to earn qualification into the national event. Those of you who are lucky enough to live on the dividing line between regions and have a choice, maybe you have a little bit of opportunity to gauge draw strength and try to earn your way in. But honestly, the college coaches are looking at the draws too, and they're seeing who you're playing and whether or not you're challenging yourself too. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, it's a great point, Lisa. And I think that's something, as a developmental coach myself, and traveling around the country, doing camps for the USTA over the last, 10 years is, wanting quality matches for kids. And that's one of the things that we always, hear the best developmental coaches talk about. When I go to the best academies that have a track record of developing players, and I ask them, well, how did it work? What were the keys? Number one, there was buy-in from the player and parents. Number two, there was a lot of competitive matches. So you see players, and I saw it when I was a junior. When I see players chasing points at trying to get a high ranking in 12s and 14s, usually it fizzles out because they have not gotten the quality matches. They have not learned about their own game and what they need to do long term, right? So I can't tell you how many players I saw that were top 5 in the country in 12 and unders that maybe didn't even play D1. So what Universal Tennis is doing with this is less travel and better matches. right?
Sure.
So those two things together is a great recipe. It is what tennis needs, right? Is, parents, don't need to travel across the country, every other week. They don't need to go to a USTA level 2, that's a 5-hour flight. So these two things together, right there, are a recipe for success. Even before we're talking about the national event, which is going to be spectacular. These regional events are going to be a home run.
Matt, let me ask you, and Brian, I want to get back to the national event in one sec, but Matt, how do you determine which age group you're in? Is it the age you are for the regional event or the age you're going to be at the national event? Is there a birthday cutoff?
It is going to be the regional event. So if you qualify in that regional event in the 15s and you then do age up, you will still be playing in the 15s in the national event. So it is based off the regional event. All this information is online on the birthday rules. As well, for registering for a regional event, it is going to be that if you're 15 at that start date, you're going to play in the 15U.
Okay.
And also really important, again, you're not going to be able to play up. You must play into your age division, which is something that we were really excited about. And then just also, as you were touching on, playing local, playing in your regions and playing guaranteed matches. I think a lot of times in tournaments, players are sometimes afraid of going and losing and being out of a match. You're going to get 3 guaranteed matches that are competitive based on the UTR rating. You can lose your first match and you can still be alive to win your round robin group. We're doing this format with our pro tennis tour right now, which has been extremely successful. These players are raving about it because they're getting 5 guaranteed matches in the span of 4 to 5 days. Brian's running some over in Darling Tennis Center, and it's just so great for these kids to get this opportunity and get development, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We want to make sure that kids are playing. We're going to really see kind of the best players coming out of each region. We don't want a kid traveling across the country to try to get points to go into something. All you need to do is be able to, if you have a UTR rating and you're able to play, go ahead and register.
What's the cost for the regional event? Oh, sorry, Brian. What's the cost for the regional event and what's the cost for the national event, Matt?
So it's $85 for the regional event. So we wanted to keep that a pretty low cost. We don't want any kind of friction on anyone saying, can I register for this? We want everyone to be able to play if they'd like to. The winners of the regional events will actually get a free entry into the college showcase, for where the at-large players will have to pay a fee for that. And then for the national event, it's again going to be $85. So if you win the regional event, it's a total of $170, and you get both events and some incredible exposure.
Great.
That's a steal.
It is a steal. All right, Brian, talk to us a little more about the national event. What are you planning to set this event apart from every other junior tournament out there?
Yeah, well, first I'll tell you that having 2 events run back to back is spectacular. Can't think of another event or series where we have that for the juniors. So Friday, Saturday, December 3rd and 4th will be the college showcase. That will be a team event. That will be singles and doubles. It's going to be fantastic. Lots of energy, lots of teamwork. That's going to be great. Sunday through Wednesday is going to be the National Pathway Championship. And during both events, we're going to be having at least 2 discussions a day with college coaches. And we're going to have specific topics based on the college recruiting process, based on development of a player, based on a path to playing professional tennis, or based on being successful in college. So we're going to have top tier coaches. We're going to have D1 coaches, D2 coaches that have already volunteered. Say, hey, I want to sit down with you, Brian. I want to be with the parents. I want to be with the players. So my goal is to have a morning discussion, a coffee chat with Brian, and then an evening discussion. As the matches are winding down, we can have another chat with the parents before they head back and get dinner. But that's one of the huge ones that's going to be involved with it. We've got some amazing sponsorships already in place. The players are going to get some swag bags. So they're going to get some gifts from UTR. Head Pen is going to be one of the official sponsors. So we're going to have some really exciting stuff in the works from Head Pen. So those right there, I think, are going to be a lot of value add for the parents. You pay that entry fee if you didn't get in a large bid. You're not only going to get the event for the players, you're going to get some college exposure, but then you're going to get some education, and that's something that we don't see at some other events. College coaches may be there, but to be able to interact and learn from those coaches with specific topics, not just talking about college tennis in general, But we're going to talk about specific things that can help parents and players.
I love it. One little bit of pushback that I'm anticipating is the fact that kids are going to have to miss school to participate, and it's going to be close to the end of the semester with final exams coming up. So can we just speak to that and just nip this one in the bud right here? Why did y'all pick the dates you did?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely something, that may be in there, but I think, as we get towards Christmas, it's pretty hard to run an event. So yeah, kids may miss a day or two, but if they can foresee this, it's already planned. Maybe get the work earlier from teachers. Maybe do some work online or get their stuff in before that. But I think it's just a great opportunity that if you can. That's one of the reasons why we planned it so far ahead, so that people can put in their schedules and maybe have the school be flexible with them. That's my thought.
Yeah, no, and great point. And that's exactly what I was hoping you were going to say. And who knows, we may be all back in virtual school by then anyway, with the way things are going so far this school year in certain areas. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was getting ready to ask you something and it just went right out of my brain. Okay, so one of y'all keep talking while I try to recoup the question that flew out.
Yeah, so I would tell everyone, make sure that understanding the format for the college showcase, 32 players will get in from their regional, right? If they are successful in regional, but there are 32 opportunities and spots to get in. So that's open right now, Matt. Can they sign up?
That the national championship page is not open yet. That will be open up shortly. The regionals are all open right now, but that will be up shortly. But yeah, that's completely correct. I mean, you can still register for the showcase. That's only going to be 2 days. So that's a Friday and Saturday. You can still do that, and then not play the national championship tournament. The players that qualify will get to play both. And then there will be a handful of at-large bids for the national championship, which is not going to be many. It's going to be 6 per age division across the country. So definitely urge you playing the regionals and trying to win your spot there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I remembered my question.
Go ahead.
How are you selecting players into the regional events, Matt? What criteria are being used? I don't think we touched on that yet.
Yeah, so it's simply going to be into the regionals. It's simply going to be the UTR rating. So their reliable UTR rating. We're going to have that the top 14 are going to be automatically accepted. There's going to be 16 in the field. There is the opportunity for 2 wild cards. It's likely just going to be the top 16 by UTR rating. I'm sure we always kind of want to have the open door in case there's a player injured who wasn't able to play, but maybe he's a top player. Because we really want to get the best players there at the end of the day.
And how would they apply for a wild card? What's the process?
On the event registration pages, there's going to be information, and it would be emailing that juniorpath@universaltennis.com email. And just out there, we have hundreds of registrants already for the series. Our events are still months away. Our first one's next month, but a bulk of them are going to be in October. And then you can apply by emailing there for a wild card. And do look at the event pages. Everything is fully detailed out on those pages. So we'll simply be taking the UTR rating for the players that get in. And then, of course, you have to be falling within those age restrictions for each of those divisions.
Gotcha. What have I forgotten to ask you? I feel like we've covered a lot of information here.
I think the one thing that I maybe should have mentioned earlier is what the national championship winners get. The national championship winners get for the 17th and 15th, they're actually going to get our Pro Tennis Tour wild cards, or they're going to be eligible to get them pending their UTR rating. So for the 17s, for male and female, the winners will get 3 Pro Tennis Tour wild cards. For the finalists, they're going to get 2 each. And then for the semifinalists, they're going to get 1 each. And then in the 15s, they're going to get 1 Pro Tennis Tour wild card as well, just for the winners on those ones. So those events have been, I think some of our events we had in Newport recently, and Brian can maybe touch on this better. I think it was ranging between a 12.7 and a 14 UTR rating for the males, about a high 9 to an 11 for the females. So they're very strong events, and you're guaranteed upwards of 5 matches. So great opportunity for players. I think what makes it unique is we're going to be giving out not just to the winners. So you can come out here and you can really get these competitive matches. And Brian, I don't know if you want to touch on what you guys are seeing with the Pro Tennis Tour in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty incredible that, that both divisions are going to get wild cards. The winners of the 17U are going to get 3 wild cards. So, I mean, that's around 15 professional matches these players are getting, Lisa, and it's pretty exciting. Obviously there's some other
with prize money. Let me just throw that out. There is prize money at these events. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to be close to $1,300 or $1,400. If you show up and you compete hard, and then if you do well, each event is upwards of 3,000. So really understanding what the developmental path is needed. So we talked about competitive matches locally for the juniors, but now if you get a wild card or you get 2 wild cards, you're getting 10 or 15 matches. So if you really want to continue to develop your game, if you want to stand out to college coaches, or even go past that, you're getting 10 to 15 matches if you earn those wild cards, which is great. I mean, I was a junior, I didn't get a lot of wild cards, but sometimes I'd get one into a pro event and it's one and done, right? You get out there, you lose 6-3, 6-2, and wow, that went fast. That was 55 minutes. But if you win this event, the national, you have 3 weeks of 4 to 5 matches, which is incredible.
Yeah, love that. And I mean, let's be real. It's not a wild card into the US Open like our, USTA National Hard Courts offer. However, this is a step toward being able to offer more and more and more as the pathway progresses and develops, and as y'all work out kinks and start to build relationships with other events. Who knows? Maybe it could, wind up being wild cards into some of the larger ATP and WTA events down the road. Who knows, right? I mean,
yeah, and I think to touch on that, Lisa, this event, is going to be, it's going to attract an audience where players, maybe some of these players didn't get into Kalamazoo,
right.
maybe they didn't get into San Diego, and so there's going to be a good range of players that are now going to be exposed to college coaches. You don't even have to make the national event to be exposed to college coaches. As Matt said, the regional events are going to be held on college campuses or campuses close to where college coaches are. So I know a lot of great players that aren't playing hardcore nationals. And now they're scrambling to figure out, do I send a video to a college coach?
Right.
Do I make a YouTube thing? So these regional events are also opportunities to get recognized and to get on a college team.
For sure. I'm excited about this because this has kind of been the missing link for Universal Tennis over the last few years as the whole tournament platform has been developing, and there wasn't a clear reason for juniors to hop on it, right? There was no kind of endpoint to work toward. Now y'all are providing that. There is a path toward a big national event that is, as you said, drawing the attention of the college coaches, which, let's be real, for most junior players, college tennis is going to be their next step. And so anything that we can do to help them meet these college coaches, be seen by these college coaches, and frankly, help the college coaches learn who our top junior players are is a win all around. So, we just got a question. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Lisa, we want to have you up in Las Vegas. Are you going to come up and join us?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Right. Only if I can be on the panel.
Absolutely. You're on there. I got a spot.
Brian calls the shots.
I'm in. So
I know a guy.
Okay, good. Nicholas Montoya just asked a question, and Nicholas, we just answered that. Your question was, are college coaches going to be attending regional events as well, or coaches' exposure is only limited to the national event? As Matt and Brian just alluded to, the regional events are going to be held either on or very close to college campuses. So yes, college coaches will be at those regional events. Hope that clarifies for you, and hope you get your kids signed up.
Add on that, Lisa, and all the events are going to be live streamed. I think that's really what makes this unique. I don't think there's been a series out there outside of these pro series that has every single match live streamed. So these events will be, if you're playing and you have a college coach across the country that you want to say, hey, I'm playing this event, this is my match time, they can jump on. It's going to live in a central place as well. And then all those matches are also going to be with you after the match. So if they can't catch it live, coaches will have access. And we're going to make it a very high priority of ours to make sure all of these matches do get in front of college coaches. College coaches use Universal Tennis. They're very active on there. They're not too hard to find kind of through what we're doing. So and we work with them every single day between myself, my team, Brian. They're going to have opportunities, and if they want to see you play, I mean, they're going to have that opportunity.
And that's what I was going to say too, Matt, that Universal Tennis has really done an amazing job in communicating, not only with players and parents, but also with the college coaches. And so I think, to me, other than having this pathway to a big national event, having the opportunity to have these regional matches live streamed for coaches to watch is huge. And again, they're going to all live in a central place on, I guess, on Universal Tennis's website, or
so all the sites do have cameras set up. I mean, that was one of our requirements. We are finalizing some last steps with our kind of official streaming partner, but there will be a place that players can access this. So more to come on that.
Have you announced the streaming partner yet?
We have not yet, but that has been one of our top priorities, and making sure this gets done. We're spending a lot of time on that because this isn't something we wanted to just kind of put out there and say, oh, let's see if all the pieces fall in line. I mean, this took a lot of time, and we have a team behind this that have been working, I mean, day in and day out for the last 6 months trying to get this together. So
I know a lot of tennis Twitter is going to be very excited about that everything is live streamed.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. I think it's going to be great. And guys, thank you so much for coming on the Parenting Aces Facebook page to talk about this. Really appreciate it. I know our community is very interested in learning about alternative events out there for junior players, and especially opportunities, as we've said a million times in this last 30 minutes, opportunities for their kids to be seen by the college coaches and to interact with the coaches. So I'm just very, very excited and looking forward to hearing more as these events start to unfold. The first one is next month. Which region is that, Matt? Where does it start?
The first two events are going to be in the South Central. So we have Baylor University hosting September 3rd and 5th for the boys, and then Oklahoma State University September 18th through 20th for the girls. The next kind of slew of events will be all starting in October, where we're going to have a bulk of them. And go check it out. I mean, they're going to be college campuses. If not, I mean, a very elite venue. I think 80% are college campuses, and amazing facilities that you get to go play on. So go to the nationalpathway.com landing page link. You'll see all the events right there.
Yeah, I want to just urge everybody, the link is on the screen right now. Make sure you click on that, and every bit of detailed information you need is there, including how to sign up, how to figure out your region, how to figure out your age group, all of that. It's all laid out very clearly, very easy to handle. Get your kids signed up, get them in these events, get them on this national pathway to Vegas in December.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you both for coming on. And to those of you watching, if you have more questions, please type them in the comments. I will forward them to Matt or Brian. They follow this page, so they'll see them as well. And we'll make sure to get you the answers that you need. Take care, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Coming at you live from Atlanta. See you next time. Bye-bye.